Hi and welcome to Live with Joy. Good morning and happy Friday, guys. We are at the end of the week and our final class for this week. So welcome everybody today. We'll give it a couple minutes for everybody to kind of jump on that post, and then we'll get started with discussing what we're going to be doing today, what we're going to be using, and how we're going to get on with that class this morning, okay? So just give it a moment. I see a couple people coming on now. Once again, let's just kind of recap what that week was about. This week I called it Specific Week because we worked on specific muscles each day, really focusing on one or two muscle groups per workout. So again, Monday we had those glutes. Tuesday we hit the back and the biceps. Wednesday we got into those quads and those hamstrings, and yesterday we did that chest and the triceps, back of those arms. So I don't know if you're feeling those today. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than those 24 hours to kind of kick in. Some people may be sore, some people maybe not. Everybody handles things a little bit differently when you kind of do that workout. Well, today we are going to be focusing on the hips and the abs. But we're not going to just be focusing on the abs. This is our abs, yes, in the front, but I'm going to also be focusing on that core as a whole. So we'll definitely get a lot of good ab work for the front, but we want to also think sides and the back of that, the core that works with those abs as well, okay? And same thing with the hips. We want to think of the hips. We've got movement through the front, through the side, and through the back. So we want to hit those hips from different angles. Now, when it comes to the hips, you're going to be working other muscles that are not just involved in those hips, such as when we do a lot of extensions back, that has to do with the glutes. And even when we go to the side, you also have some glute muscles that are kicking in, which is why I saved the hips for Friday, because you will have a lot of glute activation in this workout as well to kind of help assist moving through those hips. So I wanted to give you a little space from that glute work into our hip work. You will not need any equipment as far as weights go. You will need your mat, because we have a couple circuits that were on our feet and then we're hitting the floor, because it's another great way to get another angle in and to hit those hips is going to be from the floor. So we'll get some of our standing exercises out of the way, and then we'll move to the floor and really hit those hips and that ab from the ground. The one thing I will be using today are the resistant bands like this. If you have them, you don't need them. I will show you the exercises without them, and you absolutely will get a great workout in without them. But if you have them, I want to show you how to use them. So I will show you the exercises without. Those of you who don't have, you're just doing the exercises without. If you do have them, I'm using a medium and a heavy today. Have a light, medium, heavy. If you have just one, use that. But these can really get very, very difficult to use, especially if we're doing 4 sets. If you are struggling with them, take them off, put them to the side, go through the motions without it. They are very difficult and get very, very hard to do with certain exercises. So you absolutely do not have to use them, but if you have them, I do want to show you how you can incorporate them, what position they go in for the exercises that we're doing. This way you know how to use them if you do have them, and you can utilize them. And again, if it's too much, put it to the side. But again, this workout, totally great without them. You do not need them, absolutely not. All of the exercises are great without them. And you're activating those hips, the abs, and the entire core throughout. I also want to just mention again, we've talked about that focus, that mind-body connection. Think about what you're working. I'll kind of call out, we're always going to be working abs. You have to constantly engage those abs throughout. Some will be activating them a little bit more than other exercises. And some will be focusing more on the hips, and I'll let you know if it's the front, the side, or the back that we're focusing on in the hips, and I want you to really kind of pinpoint that movement and that focus and energy to that part of the body. All right, let's get started because we've got a lot of work today. Of course, we have pretty much the 30 minutes of work again, so we'll go for about 40 minutes with that warm up and cool down. Let's warm it up, marching right and left, right, left. Stand up nice and tall, get those shoulders down, and retract back and engage that center. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, heel to the front, push. We just want to get everything moving here. Get those joints and those muscles warmed up. Last 4, 3, 2, step touch, take it side to side. 8 more. 8. 4, 3, 2. Reach across and tap. Reach it. 8 more. 8. 4, 3, 2. Reach it overhead. Up. 8 more. 8. 4, 3, 2. Back across. Reach. 8 more. 8. 4, 3, 2. Handstand curl. Pull it back. 8 more. 8. 4, 3, 2. Knees to the front and pull. 8 more. 8. 4, 3, 2. Back to the hamstrings for 8. 4, 3, 2. Reach across and tap for 8. 4, 3, 2. Reach it overhead. Up. 4, 3, 2. Back across. 4, 3, 2. Step, touch, and press. 4, 3, 2. Heel across. Press forward. 4, 3, 2. March it out. Right and left. Keep marching. Roll those shoulders back. Roll. 2 more times. 1 more. Take those legs out wide and hold. Take those hands on those thighs and hinge forward with a flat back. Just hold and roll it up. Halfway stretch. That's fine. Take that flat back down. Roll it all the way up. Allow that head to come up last. Roll the shoulders back. All right, first exercise. We are going to be bringing those knees up. What I want you to think about here is those abs and those hip flexors in the front. Okay, so you're right here, just driving those knees up and in. Then you're going to take it wide, hands are going to come here, and we're rotating into one knee with a wider stance. Now, if you're using that band, you're going to place it on the bottom of your feet, okay? So, bands are here, you got to flex your feet as you do your work here, alternating those knees up, okay? Get into position, get ready with or without that band, driving those knees up in 2 and 1, go. So we're on that clock now. So you're driving those knees up right here, with or without that band. Now obviously you have that band, you've got some resistance that you've got to pull against. It's gonna make it harder, but you don't need to have that band. Think about where the work is coming from, those hip flexors to drive those knees up, and also those abs to drive those knees up as well. Engage that center and breathe. Good, you got 5 seconds, get the legs out a little wider, hands are up here, just that right side right here as you rotate into that knee. So now we're getting a little bit of those obliques with that spine twist, and you're still working through those hip flexors, lower abs, also engagement of those abs, so internal abs right here. And again, when we think about abs, we really think about core as a whole. Internal, external, right here. Get the feet in a little closer. Drive those knees up. Set number 2. And if you got those bands, sure you're already feeling it. Okay, super starting to fatigue. I'll probably get rid of the band for the next 2 sets. So I'll do 2 with and 2 sets without. So again, think about how your body's feeling. Are you going to be able to manage it for 4 sets? Get the legs out wider, right up here, and now you're crossing over to that left side. You always want to keep tension on that resistance band. So see how I keep my legs always with that tension. You don't want to get slack in it. You want to keep that tension. That really makes those muscles work super hard. And 1, good. I'm going to go to my next 2 sets without that band. I'm going to get rid of it right here. Drive those knees up. Really think about that activation as I come up. Thinking about that core being pulled in, that belly button pulled in towards that back. Thinking about those abs and those hip flexors, helping to drive those knees up, right up and underneath those hands. So you should already feel the front of those hips and that core work right here. Good, let's take those legs out wide. Hands are coming up here and rotating. So without that band, you got that bigger movement. So now you got going for you because the bands resist you from bigger movements, especially depending on how tight those bands are. So you can get bigger movements without that band, working with resistance if you have those bands. Good, get that last one in. And we got 1 more set of each. Bring the feet a little bit closer, get set, and drive those knees up right here. Good, keep driving those knees up. Again, think about what's doing that work. Make that mind-body connection here. Don't let those upper bodies get sloppy. You still want to keep an active back, an open chest. Get it wide. Last and final set right here. Twist into that left knee from that wide position. And then you've got 30 seconds of a rest before our next circuit. That's where I'll show you your next 2 exercises. Good, we're gonna focus now on the side and rear hips. Core is just gonna engage. Feet together, you're lowering down so your knees are bent. You're doing those chair skaters, extending and lengthening out as much as you can. Then you're gonna take one leg up behind you for that hip extension. If you are using the bands, you're bringing it on your ankles now. Okay, so you got 10 seconds. Now the only difference is you have to start out with tension. So you're not gonna start out with your feet together if you have that band. Everybody lower down. Okay, so remember, that's that shorter move if you've got those resistant bands. If you don't, bring your feet all the way together so you're getting that bigger move out to that side. So they stay on your ankles the entire time, those bands, if you're using them for this circuit. Good, keep that tension. Rise up. Get that leg behind you, hinge forward, and right here. Again, a smaller movement with that band because you've got resistance that you've got to push against. You can get that leg up higher if you don't have that resistance. And you're going to feel that that standing leg really has to contract all the muscles to keep you steady. So that's where you've got other muscles really that got to kick into help as you work through that rear hip right here. Good, and come up. Feet back together if you don't have that band. Get those feet as wide as your tension if you do. And tap it out and in from here. Keep tension on that band the entire time. Once again, I'll do 2 sets with the band, and then I'll join you guys without those bands for the last 2 sets. 5 more seconds. Good, come on up. You're gonna step that left foot back, hinge forward, get that weight into your right leg, and extend that leg up behind you. You can keep a slight bend in both of those knees. You wanna keep them soft so they're not overextended through that knee. Really, the movement is coming from here. That's what you wanna think about, right here. So you're working from the lower back down through that glute. Those are the muscles that are helping that extension. Good, all right. 2 more sets. I'm gonna get rid of that band so my feet are coming together. And now I can really extend and lengthen that leg and come all the way back in to my other foot. So we're really thinking not necessarily about intensity, but movement. This way you're not shortening it up by just going really fast. You're lengthening, lengthening. All right, bring it into that left leg. And right here. So now without that band, definitely got more movement that I can extend up through. Because I don't have that resistance stopping me. So either way, it's difficult. You'll have more movement without. You'll be a little more restricted with the band, but also you're working against resistance, which makes it quite difficult. Good, 1 more set. Bring those feet together. Lower down. Again, if you're using that resistance band, your feet aren't together. They're open as much as you need to keep that tension in that band. So you gotta keep them separated that much. Okay, again, thinking about not the intensity of the speed, okay, but the movement, extend, really lengthen, especially if you don't have that band, you can really think about that full extension through that hip. Good, and last set right here. Right leg is your standing leg, get that left behind you, and bring it up, straight up. We're gonna grab our mat after this, because we got all that grounded work coming up. Seconds, and grab your mat and watch me. Make sure that your bands are close by as well if you're using them. All right, grab your bands, grab your mat, take it down to that floor, and your 2 exercises are on your back. Legs are up here, open and close. Now if you can get the added benefit of holding those shoulders up while you do that, you're here. Then you're bending, and we're going into bicycles. If you're using that band, you're placing it once again on those feet. Okay, so whether you have the band or not, you're up here. Open and close. Now remember, without the band, you have a bigger move than I do. If you can, shoulders up, with or without that band, to engage those abs, if possible. If your neck starts to bother you, just put that head down, focus on that hip abduction, out and in. 10 seconds. So remember, if you don't have that band, you can get those legs out a lot wider than I'm gonna be able to. Good, lower down, relax, bend the knees. You need to hug the knees in for a moment right here. Good, get those shoulders up, and now you're extending out. If you have that band, you gotta really flex those feet to keep that band in position. And you gotta keep that tension. If you get slack, your feet will fall out. So you've gotta also be pushing out against that band at the same time as you cross, and then pushing away, and you're pulling in the knee, pushing out that leg. So you're getting those hip flexors, you're getting those obliques, and those abs. Hug it in if you need, and then extend it up. Shoulders up if you can, and right here, out and in. Once again, I'll do 2 sets with the band, and then I'll do 2 sets without, so you can see the difference in that range of motion for some of those exercises. 15 seconds. Last 5. Good. Hug everything in. Bring it down. And right here, extend and lengthen, pull, and push with that band. So you're gonna have to activate those abs a little bit stronger than your normal bicycle. Modify it by keeping the knees bent and tapping heels or feet to the ground instead of extending the legs. Obviously that would be without the bands. You can only use the bands if you can do a full bicycle here. All right, I'm gonna take it off, extend the legs up, shoulders are coming up for me, and now I can get out nice and wide, really kind of using those inner thighs. If you need to drop that head, do so. But holding it up, you're going to feel that fire in your abs as you work through those hips. 5 more seconds right here. And hug it in. And I'm not working fast. I'm really trying to work on movement and strength right here. So again, I'm not going fast. I'm really thinking about lengthening fully through that leg, driving that knee as close as I can, rotating, okay, here if you need to, switching, here if you can. If you need a rest, take it, and then come back when you're ready. 5 more seconds. And relax, 1 more set. Extend it up. Shoulders up if you still can. And right here. Good. Keep that chin off that chest. You want to have some space between your chin and your chest. And again, I'm not rushing it. I'm really trying to push those legs out and then pull them back up. Trying to find where my range is and even push that range every time. And relax. 1 more set of those bicycles. Set that position and go. Think about that movement and breathe. 15 seconds. And relax. All right, going into our next exercise on our side. You're lowering all the way down. Feet are going to be together. And you're going to bring that leg straight up. You're working one leg at a time. All right, then we're going to roll back into our hip a little bit and bring our elbow into our knee right here. If you're using that band, you're placing it on the feet right where it just was. So stack those feet right here. Okay, get some tension on that band if you have it, and lift up. Again, smaller movement if you have that band. And then we're going to be switching sides, so you only have to do each side twice. 10 seconds. And I will get rid of that band halfway through our circuit and show you without. Now lift it up. You also want to roll back onto your glute a little bit and bring that elbow in towards that knee. So you want to get this little kind of crunch right in that side. As you draw that knee, you're going to also work, again, through that front hip right here. If you want to modify it by keeping it here, up, down, you can do that as well, okay? Up here, because then you'll also have to work through really stabilizing this part and get a little bit more into that center. All right, let's flip it to the other side. Stack those legs and lift right here. Seconds. Engage that center. That's what's going to help keep you solid with those legs extended out and away from your body. If you need to stay down, remember you can bring your knee here, you can bring it up here. If you can, lift it on your forearm, roll back a little bit into that side glute, and right here. Elbow into that knee. Engaging through that center, working through that front hip again. Seconds, and then I'll get rid of my band for our next 2 sets. All right, getting rid of that band, come back to that other side, stack your feet all the way down, and lift. Now I can get bigger movement. Make sure you're not rotating. So this, you really need to stay on that side, and that toe spaces in front of you. And the inside of that foot is parallel to the other one, so no rotating through the hip. My fingertips are on the floor in front of me. That's helping to brace myself as well. Good, and remember, you can stay here, okay, bring it here, or right here. Bringing that elbow to the knee all the while, staying lifted. Make sure you're not collapsing here. Lift it. That's core work and abs as well. You got to think about what that other side is doing while you get this little kind of lifted side punch in. And flip it for the last and final set. Stack those feet, lower all the way down. Brace yourself with that core and that hand in front of you. "15 seconds. And again, if you need to, stay down here in front of the body, side, or lift it up. Just kind of lean back slightly into that kind of side glute. And right here, elbow right into that knee. So you're working through that side punch, working still through the hip flexor, also through the side hip a little bit. And 30 seconds. All right, next exercise, watch me. You've got a couple options. On all fours, you try and bring the knee into the elbow, and then opposite arm and leg extension. Now, if you can hands off, plank position, and bring those elbows to the knees. Now, if you're using that band, it's going on your feet. Okay, again, I'll use it for 2 sets. Make sure that you have tension, so you gotta open up those legs. Now again, we're here, knee to the elbow on your knees, or hop it up into that plank, and that's gonna make you have to really engage a lot more abs, upper body strength to hold yourself up there. Okay, you decide where you can be. You don't have to be up here. You can be on those knees, and just try to tap that knee into that elbow. Right there, okay? And now everybody's on all fours. You can sit back, take a little rest. And then right here, opposite arm and leg extension, and your back center. Really extend out. Even balance and hold there a moment. Remember, we're not trying to make it intense with speed. We're trying to make it intense with movement. So we want to really lengthen and extend as much as we can. And again, with those hands, you may be restricted. I can happen to get pretty much full extension here, but if you have a tighter band, you may not be able to. Good, sit back on those heels, take a little moment. And then again, we're right here. Elbow is trying to touch those knees, or knees rather, trying to touch those elbows. Up here in that plank position, of course, gonna make it harder. So you're working through those hip flexors again, front part of the hips, but you're getting a lot of those lower abs in and internal abs. Go ahead, take that little rest. And all fours, opposite arm and leg extending. Sit back on your heels. I'm going to use that band for those next 2 sets right here. So arms to knees. You're just taking that knee and you're tapping that elbow. If you're on your toes, same thing here, making it harder. You got to come a little out to the side in order to tap that elbow with your knee. So getting a little bit of a hip rotation here with those hip flexors and take a little rest. Good, on all fours, opposite arm and leg extension. And now I should really be able to hold that full extension through my arm and my legs. Reaching in opposite directions. And one more set coming up. Sit back on those heels. Take that little rest. And again, on all fours, elbow into that knee. So you're coming in towards, right here. Brace that center. Very core driven here. You've got to really pull that belly button up towards that back, whether you're on your knees or on your toes, to keep you in a solid position. Same thing here. Engage that center. The more you engage the center, the more balanced you're going to be and able to hold without moving and shaking. So a lot of this comes from the center, that entire core, and that extension through the leg. That's what's working that hip lower back. Good, take a rest. Watch me for your final 2 exercises. All right, down here, stack your hands on top of each other, feet are together. You're up, holding that Superman, back down. Up, hold that Superman, back down. And then in that 5 seconds, you're rotating right here, palms are up. Lift, scoop the belly down, lower, other side, lower. If you're using the band, get it on your ankles now, flip it over, and we're all gonna move through that Superman. Only difference if you have that band, you're stretching those legs out, and when you come down, you're not bringing it together. You're keeping some tension. You can't bring those feet all the way together or you lose that tension. Right here. So same exercise, just don't bring the feet all the way together when you come down if you have that band. And then open and stretch out while you're up there. So of course it's going to make you have a little bit less of a move. Rotate over, same thing. You can't bring the feet together. You have to separate them a little bit. Scoop the belly down, hold up, and lower. Scoop the belly down, lift that leg, and lower. Alternate the leg that you're lifting. Keep a little space here between your chin and your chest when you're looking at those toes. So you're tucking that chin slightly as you come up. But you're not just keeping it in here, okay? And rotate over. Stack those hands, lift and hold, push those legs out against that resistance if you have it, and lower down. Lift, Look straight down at the floor, not up. You don't want to take that neck out of alignment with that spine. So you're looking straight down to that floor. And you are going to work that core from the back, that lower back. Very important, especially when you work those abs, that you work that lower back, the back side of that core. Because if you really are always working those abs and never the back side of that core, you're going to have that imbalance. And you don't want to have that imbalance because that causes injuries. Which is why I like to think of when we're working abs, you got to work those opposing muscles as well. So they all work together as a unit. 10 seconds here. Alternate, scoop that belly down, pull that belly button towards that floor. As you lift, think about scooping and hollowing out that belly and rotate over. I'm gonna take that band off, and now I'm gonna bring my feet together. When I come down, lift and separate like I'm flying, but not too wide, and back down. Looking straight down at that floor, and up. Think about it. So when you lift, really you just have your belly and your hips on the floor. Everything else is trying to lift up. And if you're not quite there yet, that's okay. Keep working at it. And rotate over. All right, get ready to hollow out that belly right here. Round those shoulders up, scoop that belly down, and lower. Good, take those shoulders down and away. Don't be here, okay? Lift, hold those shoulders down and away, engage that center, and lower down. 10 seconds, and then one more set of each coming up. You're barely lifting that leg up, you're just hovering it over and rotate. Last and final set right here. Lift, separate the arms and the legs, look straight down and lower. Lengthen those arms and legs out away from the body. And rotate. Other side, final set right here. Scoop that belly down and relax. Get those shoulders down and away from those ears as you lift. Good, take that inhale, exhale, as you scoop that belly down. And you are done. Extend those arms behind you. Get that nice stretch and lengthening. And hug it in right here. Good. Let's lengthen out that left leg. Press and pull in that right. Hug it in. Take it to the outside of your body on that hug now. And then bring it up and cross it over and hold right there. Good, let's get a nice stretch right here. And as you come back, bring that ankle onto the opposite leg, hug it in here. Awesome work as usual, guys. Let's hug both knees in. Extend out that right, interlock the fingers, press in the left, and then take it off to the side of the body and hug it there. And bring it up, cross it over. And as you come back, keep that ankle on the opposite leg. Hold that opposite leg in. And release. Let's hug in and let's make our way up to our feet. Gently extend, rise up. Once you come up, roll those shoulders back. Just gonna get this out of the way. All right, let's get those shoulders down and back. All right, so I want you to take your left foot forward and your right foot back just a little bit. You want to stretch that hip flexion. We did a lot of hip flexor work. Rise up onto that back toe. I want you to put your hands behind you and tilt your hips up. Feel that stretch right here, okay? So that's the first part. Now, that leg that's back, take that arm, lengthen it up, and then you're gonna also lean a little bit in the opposite direction. And then you're gonna really start to feel a nice stretch of those hip flexors. And make sure that that tilt is up. Good, and release back down. Again, take those hips, tilt them up. Let's go one more time. Lengthen. Get that little hinge. We'll get a nice stretch all the way down and through that hip flexor, which is where we want to stretch. And release. Good. Step it in and let's switch. So that left foot comes back just slightly, not too far. And then lift up onto the balls of the feet so that heel is coming up. Put your fingers in the back and push. You want to pelvic tilt up. Okay, then you can reset your hands here. Feel that stretch right here by tilting those hips up towards the ceiling. And then take that arm, lift and lengthen, and hinge. And release. Once again, hands back here. Let's make sure we're still tilting, so push it up again, maybe a little bit more. Relax those hands back, take that arm up, lengthen and reach, and hinge. And release, good. Let's take it to the center, let's take an inhale up. On the exhale, you're gonna place your hands on your thighs, take a flat back down, and then roll it up halfway, and really round out that spine. And then flatten down and roll it all the way up, allow the head to come up last. Roll the shoulders back, take 2 deep breaths in. Exhale one more time in. Exhale, you guys are all done. Now listen, a couple of things. Monday is Memorial Day, but I will be teaching at 10 a.m. So I will be here. You can get your workout in and then go about your day on Monday if you'd like to join me. I will be here, 10 o'clock a.m., same time, okay? Monday, we'll do something like a cardio or a hit mix, something to get that intensity up, because I know we didn't have a lot of really intense moments this week because we were working really specifically with certain muscle groups. Some days we had some intensity, some we didn't. We'll bring that intensity back in and we'll start it on Monday, get a really nice calorie burn after that weekend. And then again, you can go about your day. So expect some sort of cardio on Monday, maybe some strength thrown in, I'm not sure yet, but it's going to be a more intense class on Monday to start that week out. Of course, there will be options and modifications for those of you who don't want the intensity, so don't feel like you can't come and join because you don't want to be intense. Not a problem, slow it down, we'll have those options for you. Hope that you enjoyed this specific week, hitting all those different muscles and focusing on particular areas and really getting into those muscles that we were working and thinking about them and getting that mind-body focus. So hopefully you enjoyed this week and we will resume Monday. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you for joining me. Again, if you enjoyed this workout, make sure you save it and then share it if you'd like to share it with others. And you can always come to this page, click on videos, and all the videos, all the workouts that we've done, which at this point is, I think we're up to 43 is what I said today. So you have 43 workouts that you can use right now. Okay, so there's no excuses. And there's more coming. I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, starting again on Monday. So have a good weekend. Have a wonderful Memorial Day. If I don't see you in class on Monday, but I will be here, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining.